All right. Good morning, my awesome readers. This week we're talking about nonfiction. We talked about fiction the last few weeks about how we read fiction for to be entertained, and it has characters and setting and problem and solution. But nonfiction books are very different. Nonfiction books, we read those for a different purpose. And we talked about nonfiction, and we read those to learn something and get some information. So today, I want us to talk about this book. I'm going to read this book to you called Meet a Baby Tasmanian Devil. But every time before I read a nonfiction, I like to ask myself, background knowledge? What that means is, what do I already know about this? What do I already know about a Tasmanian devil? Well, I don't really know a whole lot about Tasmanian devils, but when I was a kid on Looney Tunes, there was a cartoon character named the Tasmanian Devil. And so I might remember that. Or if you've been to Six Flags at Looney Tune Land, you might have seen that one. So I'm going to say I know about a cartoon character called the Tasmanian Devil, but I really don't know that much about it. In fact, I didn't realize it till I was a grown up that actually it was a real thing, because I thought it was a cartoon character. So I didn't realize a Tasmanian devil was a true thing. But this one says, meet a baby Tasmanian devil. Okay, so then as I'm reading, I'm going to be asking myself, do I have questions as I'm reading about the text? So I'm going to go ahead and read. I noticed this has a table of contents and the information I'm going to have on there. So I'm going to read this book to you. The first one's called Amazing Race. This mother Tasmanian devil is about to give birth. Her babies have been growing inside her for 21 days. Baby Tasmanian devils are called imps. The mother usually gives birth to 20 to 40 imps at a time. The imps are pink and don't have any hair. They cannot see or hear. Can you imagine 20 or 40 babies at a time? Baby Tasmanian devils are also called joeys and pups. So 20 to 40 babies at a time. I have a question I'm going to ask myself there. How does she take care of 20 babies at a time? How does the mother take care of 20 babies at a time? Well, that's a question I had as I was reading. Each imp is about 0.4 inches or 1 centimeter long. If you think about the little base 10 blocks in the classroom, those little bitty squares, they're about 1 centimeter. So that's the same size as a grain of rice. Think about how tiny that little baby is. The imps race about 3 inches to their mother's pouch to drink milk as soon as they're born. There are 4 treats inside the pouch. Only 4 imps can survive. So she doesn't take care of all 20. Only 4 of them survive. That's really sad. Family time. The 4 imps stay attached to their mother's teats for about 4 months. Then the imps start to come out of the pouch. So it's kind of like a kangaroo. The imps have hair and can hear and see when they come out of the pouch. So here they have changed a lot. A mother Tasmanian devil is big enough to protect her babies from predators. She weighs about 17 pounds or 8 kilograms. That's about the same weight as a 6-month-old human baby. He looks pretty mean, doesn't he? Imps stay with their mother to be safe. Large birds might try to eat the young imps. Sometimes imps will travel with their mother. They ride on their back. Other times imps stay in a den while their mother looks for food. Imps can also climb trees to stay safe. They keep saying imps over and over and over again, and I think that might be an important word for me to learn. So I'm going to come back here where it says vocabulary, and I'm going to write the word imp, because that's a word I've never really heard before. And I'm going to write vocabulary imp, and that means baby Tasmanian devil. Imps play with one another like puppies. They growl and screech, and they wrestle and bite. Kind of like finding food. Imps stop drinking milk after about 6 months. Their mother brings them meat to eat. So for 6 months, they drink milk, and then they start eating meat. So I might think that's important information. I'm going to write that down in here. So for 6 months, kind of like a human baby, right? They drink milk first and then they start eating food. For 6 months, they drink milk. And then they start eating meat. Imps practice eating food. Imps eat carrion, the meat from dead animals. Tasmanian devils also hunt small animals like mice and birds. 2 young Tasmanian devils eat a piece of meat caught by their mother. So here's a word I've never seen before, carrion. And then they eat carrion, the meat from dead animals. So I'm going to write that down too under my new vocabulary because that's a word I've never seen before. Carrion, meat from dead animals. Tasmanian devils have sharp teeth and strong jaws. Imps learn to eat every part of an animal. They even eat the bones. Oh, now that's a cool piece of information. I'm going to write that down. They even eat bones. Most animals don't eat the bones, right? Imps growl at one another over their food. They hiss and wrestle, and they may have to fight for their food as adults. The single life. Imps leave their mother at about 10 months of age. They come out at night to search for food. So the Tasmanian devil can go as far as 10 miles in one night. That's a long way to search for food. A Tasmanian devil hunts and sleeps in its home range. This can be from 2.5 to 17 square miles. The Tasmanian devil may have several dens there. So he doesn't just have one den, he might have several of them. Tasmanian devils usually stay away from one another. Sometimes they fight over food. Tasmanian devils are ready to become parents when they're about 2 years old. They often live 5 to 6 years. So here's their life cycle. 21 days, then the baby comes out of the pouch. Then at 6 months, it stops nursing and starts eating meat. At 10 months old, it leaves its mom. And about 2 years old, it starts having its own babies, and it lives for about 5 or 6 years in the wild. Habitat and focus. Wild Tasmanian devils live only in the Australian island of Tasmania. Well, that's how they got their name. They're the only place they live. They disappeared from the main Australian island hundreds of years ago. Tasmanian devils are in danger of dying off. Predators, disease, and vehicles all put Tasmanian devils at risk. Tasmanian devils live in dens under logs, bushes, and other natural places. They also may dig dens under their buildings. I think that's kind of important that they only live in Tasmania. They only live in the Australian island of Tasmania. So see how I'm taking my information and I'm learning from it? I've talked about what I knew, what questions I might have. As Tasmanian devil's scientific name, there's their big long name, Sarcophilus harrisel, that's Latin for Harris meat lover. In 1881, scientist George Harris wrote about Tasmanian devils. Tasmanian devils don't always spend all day in their dens. They've been seen lying in the sun for warmth. Tasmanian devils got their name from Europeans who moved to Australia. The settlers named them devils because of their loud growling and screeching. And then here's my glossary. And here's some other things I could read to be interested in that. Okay, so I've taken my nonfiction book and now I've got some information about it. So today I want you to try on your own for your own nonfiction book. You can either copy this into your journal or print the page that I'll have there for you.